Good afternoon and welcome to Today on BayTV. We are live in Swansea on Friday the 30th of June 2017. I'm Henry Dobby Cook and this is Gaynor Morgan.
And we've been joined by the Shadow Secretary of State for Wales, Christina Rees, and also Nigel Jones, the man behind bringing the air show to Swansea this weekend. But before we chat, let's have some music from Asha Peters.
Winter came and winter left. Summer scorched, but still no breath in the earth blurred out the DNA. Come into my shack, he said, dry the snow off your backbone. She tried to leave, he blocked her way. Pleading, pleading, though not guilty, fearing for her life. Please, sir, I'll be good, sir, I'm expected home in time. But the darling never made it, the offer was declined. As the body goes unfound, cold becomes the sound. Do not ask, do not murmur your words too fast. When you know that the murderer's near, the one who hurt your girl so, oh dear. At this he was a practice hand, and every note took place. He lined it up so perfectly, no DNA to trace. Crushed the flower with his weight to drain the nectar from her face. Forced the sea to watch the petals fall. Madman, quietly scary, how does your garden grow? With soulless shells and alarm bells of pretty maids all in a row. The screams get drowned underground. She lay there in a red stained sack. Will the family ever get the lovely bones back? Do not ask, do not murmur your words too first. When you know that the murderer's near.
Oh, what a great way to start the show.
Lovely, wasn't it? Oh, it just makes us all feel relaxed, doesn't it? It's lovely.
Well, we're going to be hearing more from Asha later on in the show.
Good.
So let's have a little look at what happened on this day, as we always do in part one. It's your favourite part, isn't it, Christina?
My favourite part.
Yeah. We're going to start in 1837, where the punishment by pillory was finally abolished in Britain. Now, do we know what pillory is?
The stocks.
It is the stocks.
I think we should bring it back.
We've got some photos.
It's in every carnival.
Not photos, images. 1837, I feel like they probably went on...
I thought it was women they put in the stocks, you know, shrews and scraps.
Well, I don't know anything about stocks and shares, you know, that's out of my price range.
But it's amazing, isn't it, how vocabulary develops. Like if you pillory someone, you know, or be pilloried for something. So long after we ever had pillories. Anyway.
Exactly. Moving on, 1862, Victor Hugo published the last chapter of Les Mis. Obviously, Hugo drafted Les Mis over 20 years. Are you a fan?
I love the show. I've been to see the show. It's absolutely wonderful. I can't say I've read his books from cover to cover. Have you?
No, I haven't, no.
Well, I think, obviously, the film did it a lot of justice, and we've got a great trailer to remember the film by.
I'm cold. Would you let me stay here for tonight? I know who you are. You're Jean Valjean. Right, my girl.
I went to see the stage show. It's wonderful how such an age-old story can be brought into modern life, isn't it? And be sort of part of
Yeah, It's still so current. I think people still love it. It's still in Broadway and in London.
Well, there's still so much injustice, isn't there? You know, so, and of course, you've wrote a lot of other great works, didn't he? Not that any spring to mind.
You know what fan I am of Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Apparently, someone's going to write a stage play for Bob Dylan and include all his songs. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, that'd be quite something, yeah.
Moving on, 1894 now, London Tower Bridge opens for the first time. It took 8 years to build, 5 separate contractors and over 432 construction workers. It was officially opened to traffic by the Prince of Wales. Not that there was a huge amount of traffic, I'd assume, in 1894, but horse-drawn traffic.
Yes, and there would have been a lot of traffic underneath. I think you've let me have some notes here about it, Henry.
Yeah.
So I'm going to test you on them. After the ceremony, the bascules were raised to allow a flotilla of ships. Anyone know what a bascule is? Nigel, you're the technical one.
it's those grated gates that they haul up and down.
Oh, okay.
Is that the bridge that they tried to sell to America? Or they were going to
yes,
sell
I
to
think they
America?
did.
There was that, famously.
And they bought the wrong one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. I think they thought they were buying it, didn't they? Or something.
So, well, we've got a great little video to kind of encapsulate how it was constructed and the process they went through. So let's have a little look at that.
They did they?
There we go.
The video did.
Did I say video? A video showing the construction. So,
You did, I'm teasing you.
Also on this day, 1937, the world's first emergency telephone number, 999, was introduced in London. 999 was chosen because it could be dialed on the old rotary dial telephones by placing your finger against the dial at the stop and rotating it all the way 3 full times. I always thought with that, it's the longest thing to call, surely.
Yeah,
I mean, it should have been 111.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would make more sense on a because you do it all the way, and then obviously you had to screw back, didn't it?
Yes, but I suppose the thing is you've got to find the one, haven't you? The thing that struck me was in 1937, 2 years later, the Second World War broke out. You're saying, what place did 999 have then? When we were being bombed and goodness knows what. You know, it's a bit academic, really, by then.
Well, the interesting thing for me was that it was London only. It was only introduced in London. So if you had an emergency anywhere else, deal with it yourself.
With a friend in London.
But in London, yeah. So it's also, obviously, the reason it was, I've got it here now, to the end, is because for the visually impaired, but also because of the darkness and the dense smoke in London, you knew when you got to the end. So that's coming back to kind of finding the numbers, isn't it? Moving on, 1938, Superman appeared for the first time in DC Comics Action Comics series issue number 1.
1938?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that old, did you?
Yeah, really old. So there's the original front cover.
I bet some of those comics are worth a few bob, if you could.
I think so.
Can I share something with you?
Yeah, please do.
We had a retirement due for Councillor Ali Thomas, Alan Thomas, who's retired as leader of Neath Talbot Council. And I foolishly bought him a little sort of present, a pair of Superman trunks. So, of course, being Ali, put them on his trousers straight away. We have the photos to prove it.
Well, you haven't brought them in with you, though.
I didn't know.
I've got one for you now, Christina. 2016, the British political party, political candidates announced their bids for the leadership of the Conservative Party. Theresa May, Michael Gove and Boris Johnson, who then ruled himself out. So obviously that was all a dream then, wasn't it? A lot's changed since 2016.
I've only been an MP a little over 2 years and so much has happened.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me at the beginning, would Trump be in charge of America? would Cameron have gone and May be in charge of Britain?
Leaving Europe?
Yeah, leaving Europe. All of that stuff, I would have said, no, you're making it up. We live in very exciting times.
We do, yes. It is.
History's been made.
Yeah, it is quite fascinating. And in a sense, although we've talked about this a lot, it is the will of the people, isn't it? Because things are changing and fragmenting as we're going along, and positioning's changing, and it is really in response to hopefully what people want.
Democracy.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
In the final moments, we've got some big birthdays today. Michael Phelps is 31, obviously the swimmer, and I think the most decorated Olympian ever to live. Mike Tyson is 50, obviously the boxing hero for many people. And also it's social media day today.
Social media?
Yeah, social media day.
What does that mean? I thought it was social media day every day.
Today is social media day where you celebrate it.
You've made that up now.
No, honestly, that's what it says. Every day has a national
He read
day
it
now.
on social media.
I think we'd better all just go and tweet about that. Anyway, thanks all. We'll be keeping both Nigel and Christina with us in the next part to have a look at the newspapers.
See you then.
Welcome back to Today on BayTV. With me is Henry Darby-Cook, and we have with us Christina Rees and, of course, Nigel Jones, Supremo of the Swansea Air Show. Yes?
Well, before we talk about this year's air show coming this weekend, should we have a look at a clip remembering last year's amazing show?
So clever, aren't they? You almost take it for granted when you see it. And you think, well, the expertise that goes into all that.
The amount of training they have to do just to get into the team each year is phenomenal.
So tell us the plan for this weekend then, Nigel.
Well, it's bigger and better. We've expecting 100,000 people a day, and with the forecast as it is, with the sun and dry, who knows? Every year that we've done it, it's increased by 15 to 20,000 every year. And as it's a big free event, it's a huge occasion now. People put it in their calendars, and there's lots on the ground as well as lots in the air. So it's a real good family fun day out for us.
Lots of closures in Swansea, though. Is that security or safety?
It's a combination of the size of the event now. We felt generally that when you've got 100,000 people, at the end of the day, when the Red Arrows finish, there's a big rush to go. Whilst there's still plenty on the beach, the sheer volume of people leaving, but obviously what's happened of late in the UK, we have to be cognizant of what we need to do in terms of traffic and other things. It's a combination of things, to be honest.
So we've got on the screen now the road closures and diversions, so people are aware of when things are closed and open. What's the advice for people who are planning to come to the air show?
Basically, plan ahead, come early. You know, we're shutting the roads just by Westway and bottom of Skellig Lane, although people will be allowed to come up as far as Bryn Mill Lane. There are alternative routes in place. We've got VMS, big signs there, electronic signs, social media, people tweeting real live time. So as car parks fill, we can tell them what's full. We've got an awful amount extra this year of park and ride. So we're encouraging people to use public transport, but get there, enjoy the day. Whilst the flying doesn't start till 1, the entertainment on the ground starts at 10. And there's a huge amount of free stuff there that people can enjoy. So bring a picnic, enjoy the day, and just take plenty of time to get there.
Where's the best place for the best view?
Clearly, the axis of the event will be around the cenotaph, but we've got a big viewing area down by the Civic Centre. So there's two sort of distinct areas, but what we've found in recent years, there's almost no gap in between now. People just take a picnic, sit on the beach, and they can watch it because the displays are on a flight line up and down the beach, parallel to the shoreline.
Now, I know something that stood out last year for a lot of people was the app and how helpful it was to know show times. Same again this year. I think we've got a screenshot of what the app is going to look like for everyone that's going to plan to download it. There it is in the App Store. So it's Wales Air Show. Yeah. And it has everything on there.
It has everything on it. It tells you about the ground displays, the time, especially the timetable, because the timetable is subject to change. Things can happen with aircraft and delays because some of them are coming from other shows. So it's real time. We will literally change it by the minute. So it's the best place rather than publish something that is out of date and somebody said, well, I came for the Red Arrows, and then they're an hour later. We have to change and work with the civil aviation. But it's fantastic detail on it. Plus, there's a lot of offers on there for discounts and restaurants from sponsors and partners. So it's actually very, very useful for people to
Sponsors a place to be.
Yes.
Awesome. Should we have a little look at today's papers then? I'm not sure.
Of course, the centre page spread of the Western Mail is the air show. Why not? Yes.
It is. So it's the Guardian first, and we've got a Labour. Yeah, abortion concession heads off Tory revolt on Queen's speech.
Lots of politics.
Yeah, lots of things happening. This is Stella Creasy, who's been campaigning that women who live in Northern Ireland, they come to England to have abortions because they can't get them over there. Well, it's very strict rules. And they pay to have them on the NHS in England. So she put forward an amendment saying that they shouldn't have to pay. And it was supported by some Tory MPs, and Theresa May realised that if that actually went through, then she'd be on to a defeat of the Queen's speech. So out of the blue, Philip Hammond made an announcement in the House yesterday saying that they would concede and they would make it so that Northern
people
Ireland
don't have to pay now.
So it was up to Stella Creasy then. The procedure of the House is she could force the amendment and force a vote, or she could withdraw the amendment, and she withdrew the amendment on the guarantee that the government would make that happen.
It's extraordinary, isn't it, all these sort of backroom... Well, I find it extraordinary because I suppose it's something that on the mainland we take for granted, isn't it, if people need an abortion. And in Northern Ireland, just having to travel is difficult enough without having to pay. But the fact that it all becomes tied up really with the Queen's speech and Brexit and everything is extraordinary.
And Peter Bottomley was the main supporter from the Tory side, and he...
Of the amendment.
He's got lots of gravitas. So he actually then forced the government to really concede on it. But from Wales, we now have to work out what that means for Wales. Do Northern Ireland women come to Wales to have abortions? We don't know. What's the knock-on effect? We obviously welcome the decision in England that they are going to do that, but we have to see, because health is devolved in Wales, we have to see what the repercussions are there. Will there be a Barnett consequential? That means will the Wales government have money now, because money has been made available in England to pay for abortions.
Extraordinary. Shall we move on?
Yeah, going to the Metro next, and they've gone with a very clever front page, squeaky bung time for PM cling to power in crucial vote. So obviously this is to do with Theresa May squeezed through her Queen's speech through Parliament last night, thanks to her $1 billion bung to secure the DUP support.
Not a headline that you'd like, Christina?
That is a terrific headline because she's obviously done a deal with the DUP to stay afloat, and she relies on them now to get, it's called a confidence and supply, so she has the confidence of them voting with them, with the Tory government, and the supply is what the Tory government has given to the DUP in exchange. And it says it's 1 billion, it's not actually. It's 1.5 as it stands now. It's 1 billion new money, right, and $500 million old money that they've taken from funds that have already been allocated. It's for infrastructure, schools and health spending. But where is the money for Wales? Barnett consequentials, fair funding. Scotland should get some money, England should get some money, and certainly Wales should get some money.
The story, I think, is going to run and run, isn't it?
It is. Moving on to the Daily Express now. We're going to talk about Andy Murray. Obviously, Wimbledon just around the corner. Obviously, he went out in the first round of Queen's. Injured Andy to fight pain and bid for Wimbledon glory. We've got a great clip remembering, you know, the glory of Andy Murray.
What about you, Nigel? Are you a Wimbledon fan?
Yes, I've been there a few times. It's a great day out.
Yeah, and of course, Christina, you're a great sporty person, aren't you? Squash was your...
Yeah, I mean, tennis is easy, really. The racket's bigger, the ball's bigger, you know, squash is much more
Yeah, but there's an out in tennis. You can miss. Surely squash is just hitting a wall, no?
No. How dare you say that? That's a challenge. I will teach you to play squash, Henry.
Let's do it.
Oh, it was BayTV tournament, yeah?
I'd love that.
That'd be good. Well, thank you both, and thank you, Nigel. Christina's going to stay with us, and we'll be showing Tonia Antonuzzoni's maiden speech.
See you then.
Welcome back to Today on BayTV. I'm Gaynor Morgan. With me is Henry Darby-Cook, and Christina Rees, Shadow Secretary for Wales, has stayed with us. Thanks, Christina.
Before we chat with Christina, we're going to show Tonia Antonazzi's maiden speech from yesterday in Parliament. Here it is.
Maiden speech, Tonia Antonazzi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to make my maiden speech during this important debate. I pay tribute to all the members who have made their maiden speeches this week, and it's also a pleasure to follow the Honourable Member for Poole. It is indeed outstanding to take this seat back for Labour after being the most marginal seat in the last election, and to be the first woman to do so. Now, I am the person to continue the long and proud tradition of Labour representation in Gower. I am privileged to follow in the footsteps of D.R. Grenfell, Ivor Davis, Gareth Wardell, and more recently my good friend Martin Caton. I would also like to pay tribute to my predecessor, who served the constituency to the best of his ability. And my Italian family name is embedded in the Gower constituency. The introduction of cafe culture to the people of South Wales comes predominantly from the families of Bardi, and yes, you have ice cream to thank me for. Moreover, it was in the cafes like Albert's in Gosainen and in Station Cafe in Pontedilais that the community spirit grew. And the freedom of movement and opportunities afforded to my forefathers is something close to my heart. I will fight for these rights to continue to be there, not only for my child, but for the children of Gower and Wales. Gower is unlike any constituency in the United Kingdom, with its peninsula to the south being the first in the United Kingdom to receive designation as an area of outstanding natural beauty in 1956. But to think members on the opposite side of this chamber wish to allow fracking under this fragile landscape, that goes against all sense and wishes of my constituents. Fracking does not just affect the countryside or the surface site of the frack, but occurs underneath towns, villages, including old industrial areas of Gower and estuary areas. Whilst the peninsula is internationally recognised and renowned for its farming, its scientific importance and its beauty, it is a diverse constituency, reaching far into former industrial heartlands such as Clydach and further into the proud Welsh-speaking areas of Ganswllt, Velindre and Craigkevin Park. It is a constituency wrought by the devastating impact of post-industrialisation and remains with stubbornly high unemployment. It is a constituency that has borne the brunt of the policies put forward by the party opposite. And it is a constituency that on the 8th of June said enough is enough. Now, I am honoured to be a part of a large team of Labour women MPs with whom, as I have found out, we share many similar life experiences. And the role of women in society today is never to be underestimated. We are here and we represent all women, grandmothers, carers, single mothers. We are the women with supportive, strong mothers standing by our side, and I thank my mum for doing that for me, to put me here today. To all the 4,000 1950s or waspy women in Gower who have dedicated their lives to working and supporting their families, hit by pension inequality, I will fight for you. But looking to the future, I urge the government, following the Henry Review, to invest in Gower, to invest in Wales and to invest in renewable energy by getting on with it and signing off on the Swansea Bay Tidal Lagoon. Looking to the future, I urge the government to strengthen the access to banking protocol from May 2015 and provide my constituents with banking facilities it deserves in Pontedilais and Clydach. I'd like to end with a story that warmed my heart recently when a very close friend of mine saw the terms Gower and Tonia were searched for more than 20 times on her daughter's iPad. When questioned, she told her mother, "Isn't it amazing?" that we live somewhere that anyone can become an MP. You don't have to be rich, you don't have to go to a posh school, you just have to work hard. And with more than 20 years as a teacher, Amelie's words ring so true for the school children of Gower, Wales and the United Kingdom, because ambition is critical. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Tom Tugendhat.
Very inspirational at the end, wasn't it? A lovely little lift there. Yes, so she's clearly getting into her stride there, and quite a few key issues she picked up on. Of course, the family name and the cafe culture, which I pronounced incorrectly and you pronounced correctly.
For once.
But, you know, she has a broad spectrum of things. Investment, the tidal lagoon, banking. It really winds people up, all these banks being shut in small towns.
Yeah, we're still pressing for the tidal lagoon. We've all been working so hard. All the Swansea MPs, Carolyn, Geraint, then Stephen Kinnock, myself, and Tonya now. We're all pushing for the Henry Review came back and said, you know, get on with it. And we've just been waiting for the government to actually give it the green light. And we don't know really what's holding it up.
Well, I mean, Swansea this week especially has had not the best of weeks, with obviously the trauma centre looks like it's going to go to Cardiff. A think tank has said Swansea's 15 to 10 years behind Cardiff.
Well, we've got a great council leader in Rob Stewart, and he's pushed for the Swansea Bay City deal, and that is going to bring jobs and growth to the city, and that's been signed off. So I don't think the government can renege on that in any way. You know, that's there. But the tidal lagoon would certainly bring benefits to all the region, and we're just waiting for the go-ahead.
To get back to the broader sweep, the honeymoon phase, it's coming to an end, isn't it, with Labour? Three shadow secretaries sacked last night.
Well, I don't think that's a honeymoon phase coming to an end. They voted against the whip. And whether you're in local government or in Parliament, if you vote against the whip, you're voting against your party, against your manifesto, against your policy. So they knew fully well that if they voted against the whip, they would be sacked. 3 were sacked and 1 resigned before the vote.
Is it a sign perhaps of Jeremy Corbyn's growing strength or growing confidence that he felt able to sack people over it?
I think he grew in confidence during the election campaign, without a doubt. And his appeal is absolutely magnificent. He managed to persuade lots of young voters to get involved in the election, and long may that last.
But what was the point of this amendment? Why did you feel so strong about it?
Which amendment are you talking about?
Well, he sacked 3 Labour frontbenchers who voted against the party in favour of the Queen's Speech Amendment, calling for Britain to remain within the customs union.
Yes, now, if you look at the wording of the amendment, the problem with that is remain in the single market and the customs union. If you come out of Europe, you come out of those 2 institutions. Now, what Labour Party policy is that we're looking for the best deal on coming out.
Wouldn't that be
and
the
we
best
want no, you're out. You can't go back in a contract, Gaynor. We want the best possible deal. We want the similar benefits to the customs union and the single market without actually continuing to be a member, which you can't if you come out of Europe.
Clarity as ever. But I thought the big story of the week was the ties. No ties in the House of Commons.
Yeah, I've stopped wearing mine.
It's a bit ludicrous though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, sartorial elegance, you know, is not a primary concern of mine, as you know.
Apparently it's bad for men's health when there's a heat wave, because the air conditioning isn't good enough in the chamber. Is that right?
Well, it's really... Sometimes it's absolutely freezing, and sometimes it's not on at all. There doesn't seem to be a balance.
So, of course, if you have to wear a tie, it's not bad for you, not good for you.
No. Oh, I remember in school, when it got to a certain temperature, you could no ties, and then when it got really hot, it was a no blazer day, and that was when it was. And then
it was really hot. Yeah. Just briefly though, exciting times. How long is the government going to last? Jeremy Corbyn says he's going to be Prime Minister in 6 months.
Well, we are preparing for government. The shadow cabinet are preparing for government. And that speaks, you know, volumes. I don't know how long she'll last. I think they'll keep her there for as long as possible. And maybe if they do replace her, it'll be internally. It won't go to the country again. and they'll just try and hang on for the duration of the Parliament, I think.
Very interesting times, so yeah. And all in your first 2 years as an MP.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you very much.
Thanks
and
for
you've
joining
enlightened
us.
us a lot, as usual. Thank you.
Next, we're going to be hearing some more great music from Asha Jane Fletcher. And we're going to be having a chat. Stay with us. welcome back to your final part of today on BayTV. I'm Henry Darby Cook, this is Gaynor Morgan. And before we have a chat with Asha Jane Fletcher, we're going to hear some more great music from her. Take it away.
I've been waiting for a long time, anticipating the perfect crime. Stealing your heart will not be as easy. Reel it in like a fish out of water, feeling your skin press against mine. Oh, the perfect crime, committing to you, committing for you. Do you not know about me? I'll take them and make sure they never forget the siren. Have you not heard about me? I'll take them and make sure they never want to leave the siren. A predator plotting to pounce on each and every ounce of you, playing with his kill before eating your heart out. In my dreams we dine on a feast of each other's company. If this is how we start out, may it be. You do not know about me, do you not know about me yet? I'll take them and make sure they never forget the siren. Have you not heard about me yet? I'll take them and make sure they never want to leave the siren. You don't want to cage your little bird, but you do want them to sing. I'm asking you to try for one day. You don't want to cage your little bird, but you do want them to sing. If you do not love me, I can fly away. Have you not heard about me? I'll take them and make sure they never forget the siren. Have you not heard about me? I'll take them and make sure they never want to leave. Not me, the siren, siren. Wa-ba-ba-da-da-da-da, the siren.
That was lovely, Asha. You're going to come and have a chat with us? Tell us all about yourself. Oh,
Just there's
great,
fine.
Yeah. So, where can we see and hear more of that?
Well, I've been working on an EP since it's like 6 months. We've just recorded it. It's in mixing, so I should have it done by the end of July.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome.
And then that'll be online. And we'll see what I do after that. I'll do some like launches maybe.
Do you get out and do gigs and stuff?
Not that much, but to be honest, I never thought I would be able to even play the EP live because I was really ill when they asked me to do it. And I had no idea what was wrong with me, and we didn't know if I would ever feel better again.
Oh, really?
I've only just recently
been
like,
to join
yeah, I know,
now.
it's great, right? I was like so ill for ages, and yeah, and now I'm like, well, I can definitely perform it, but I was just going to record it because I didn't know what I was going to do.
Oh, well, that's great news. So where do you get all your inspiration?
Literally everything. I can look at something and go, Gaynor, I'm going to write a song about you. Like, I could do it, but so I get asked that a lot, and I don't really. I think it's just everything. Most of the stuff that I've been writing then, it's The Lovely Bones, the first one, that's inspired by the book The Lovely Bones. I wanted to write a murder ballad, but I'm a really emotional person. So I was like, do you know what, I'll write about a fictional character? And that's what that one's about. Siren is about, it's a play on the legend of the siren, the mermaid. And I like the sighing wren, like the bird. and it's just sort of about being a female. That's what that one's about.
So have you got any role models that you particularly follow?
I really love Carole King. I still baffles me how she wrote such incredible stuff. And then I like Florence and the Machine. I like a lot of stuff though, because I write for a music magazine and I review live gigs and local music. So I'm really massive on my local music scene, local Welsh bands. I'm really
There's so much going on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you briefed me just before we heard you to ask, what have you been up to in the last year?
So I was just getting better. I was working on that, and then I was recording the EP. I was writing for the thing. That's fairly recent, and that was pretty much it. And I just got a new job.
Okay, awesome.
So that's cool. I'm excited about that.
What's your day job then?
It will be front of house for a sort of restaurant come cafe come bar. So I'll be making cocktails, making coffee.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's quite a nice company to work for. I'm quite excited. And yeah, and I just continue doing all the music stuff. I made a video. It was featured on here some time ago. Film Wheels, I think. Yeah, I made a video. And that was me and my friend's new company. His company's called Dakona. And we just did that with no budget, just sort of went around filming stuff. And we got it done.
It's wonderful what you can do today, isn't it? It's
yeah, with absolutely nothing, you can pretty much make something, put it on the internet.
So you're local, you're from Swansea?
Well, I'm from Cowbridge, but you know, I like Swansea. It's all good. It's all good.
Swansea's very friendly, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. And you've got the beach as well, so everyone's just really chilled out.
No, there's no beach in Cowbridge.
Not the same kind of thing, but it's okay. We've got cows.
So where's the best place for people to kind of keep up to date with you? And when the EP drops, they're going to know where to get it?
So I would say it's Facebook. I keep that one the most up to date. There is a website, musicglue/Asha Jane. But if you just put Asha Jane into Google, whatever you're into, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those things, I've got them, it's fine.
Well, do you want to go and get ready and play some more for us?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Ray of sunshine. Yeah.
Thank you to all our guests today and to all our viewers for watching us.
And today's film is Tarka the Otter, starring Tarka the Otter.
And with that, let's hear some more great music from Asha.
Yeah.
We'll see you Monday.
Open up your third eye, I got something to show you. Under my daily disguise, I was once just like you, searching for a sign, looking for the divine. There was more than this, and you can do it. I got demons in the corners of my mind, but I do not let them occupy. Not as much as I used to every day. So I am telling you, there is a way from the low point to the good place. We'll find this amazing falls, we can make it to tomorrow. I will not let you down where it counts. I will not let you drown in your sorrow. Hold my hand and we'll make it there. We'll go to the kingdom in our minds. We'll find this amazing space, and they can come and join us here. Welcome eyes. And there will be days we are all inclined to pick each other up and dust off our behinds. And then we'll battle on so they don't knock you